Hi, I'm Melissa, owner and designer here at Paper Truly. This tutorial will show you how to assemble our romance managed invitation, which comes in a variety of versions for different events. This one is for the wedding, and it has the wedding rings on the cover. It opens up sort of accordion style, has these beautiful corridors on the inside, and a fold-out section in the middle that holds the insert cards. When guests read the little note on the inside of that pocket section, it will tell them how to find magic footsteps that actually appear to walk across the page. It's very fun. This design takes about 2 minutes to assemble each suite, which goes even quicker with a few friends to help, so we highly recommend that. When we do assembly, we find it best to do all of one small task before going on to the next step, rather than completely assembling the whole suite and then going to the next suite to completely assemble. If you just pick one small task and do all of them that way first, it just allows you to organize the project better, which is much more efficient, and we like efficiency. When you receive your order, one suite will be fully assembled for you as a guide, and then whatever else you have ordered. So what we see here are the elements of our basic default suite. The ribbon will come pre-cut, the seal will come pre-made, and these two pieces will come pre-scored but not pre-folded. Tools needed for assembling this design are a scoring tool, double-sided strong bond adhesive. I recommend this permanent Tombow brand tape runner for the long ribbon, and Scotch tape that's double-sided and permanent for the short ribbon, and we'll talk about why later. And then something pokey for the footsteps, and I'll talk about that in a second too. But you want something kind of like a pen, but maybe pointier, but something with a good handle, not like a safety pin, not like a pin, a sewing pin. You want something with a handle so that you can work faster, but pointy. All of these supplies can be found at Amazon or your local craft supply store. First step is super easy. Apply your postage stamps to the reply envelope as well as the outer envelope. You can get these from your post office or you can order them through us. Now, if you have any international guests, set those envelopes aside. International outer envelopes will need additional postage, which you can purchase and check the price of whatever you need for that at the time of mailing your invitations. International reply envelopes need postage from the sending country to mail back to you in the U.S., so they do not need a postage stamp here at all. They don't need a U.S. postage stamp. They need their country's postage stamp. So set those aside too, just so that you know. Step 2, we're going to use our scoring tool and fold these pieces. Now, using this tool just helps you get nice and crisp folds, and it also helps the folds to lay flatter. So you definitely need this to get them folded. So we're going to start with the small one, and we're going to fold this way and then this way so that that square comes together, and press it nice and flat. Now for the larger piece, I want to show you a little trick. We're going to fold this way and then do the same on this side, but I wanted to tell you a little trick here. Sometimes the scores are slightly in the wrong spot, and you have to correct them so that the picture in the middle matches on both sides. This happens because this piece is so large, and paper will stretch very slightly as it goes through the printer, especially large pieces. But sometimes with designs like this where they need to match in the front, you may notice that. So to correct that, what you might want to do is pull this side ever so slightly over this way a little bit, and then go ahead and press down your score. So it's like just a little bit to the left of where the actual score is, and you'll know this if you check the front and see how it matches. And then we're going to come over to this side and do that again. This one matches pretty well, so I didn't need to correct this one, but I just wanted to make that note. So we're making that nice and flat. And now we are going to move on to the footprints panel. So go ahead and get this piece. Now what I'm going to do is take my poker, whatever tool you found to work best for that, and you're going to poke through any that maybe have not cut through all the way. Sometimes they cut through really great, like this one happens to be cut through really great, but sometimes you got to poke through many of them. So what you need to do is find something real sharp that can go between even those heels. The heels are pretty small. So the way that I've found to do this the most efficiently is to poke and swipe, like from the back. So you're poking down and swiping right away, and then you'll get a pile to take care of at the bottom. But that goes pretty quick if you kind of use this poke and swipe method. So you'll get that done pretty quickly. So go through your whole pile of those and get all those feet knocked out. Then what we want to do is make sure that our pile of the footprints is oriented in the correct way so that they look like they're walking, not walking backwards. So they look like they're walking forwards. So make sure that your whole pile is stacked so that they are walking from the top left corner to the bottom right corner. And you can take your middle section, the insert, and hold it up just to make sure that that would be walking from this corner to that corner. So the first thing we're going to do is set your stack aside, and then we're going to take one and we're going to peel off one side of this adhesive. There's adhesive on both sides, but for right now we're going to go through and peel off one side, and then we're going to flip the insert over and stick this right in the middle. You can have it unfolded or you can fold it, either way. I'm going to stick that right in the middle. It actually sets a little bit down from the top score. I'm going to set that right in the middle. Now this adhesive sticks pretty well, so you want to be slow and careful because it's a little bit tricky, annoying to pull back up. Okay, so go through your entire stack of the inserts and do that. Set them aside and get them ready for the next step, which is taking the main invitation part, open it up so you can get to this section in the middle, and you'll notice a little dashed line right here. We don't want to see that in the final thing. We want to cover that up. So we're going to take our insert and we're going to peel off the back, and then we're going to carefully align it to this line, but we're also trying to get it exactly in the middle here, because if you get it too far over this side or too far over that side, it'll be a little annoying to close that. So we're going to try to, sorry if my head gets in the way, get close to it. You got to see it. You got to align it right in the middle, press it down good, and you've got that stuck on really good there. Now take your stamped reply envelope and the reply card and any other inserts that you have, stick them in there, close it up, grab your envelope, and stuff it in there. And next, you are not going to seal the envelope yet, because you're going to stuff all of them to make sure that they all have what they need before you go sealing them. That's very important so you don't mess anything up. But when you do go to seal them, when everything is good, use your tongue. Do not use one of these. You'll notice I did not list that as a supply. These are kind of useless. They're always too wet, and when you have too much liquid on here, it will wrinkle the envelope, and you'll see that from the outside. It'll just be like wrinkly right here, which is no fun. So I'll spare you my tongue, but go ahead and lick that and get them all sealed. You can lick them and close it and then like set them upside down like this while they dry so that you can continue going. That just makes it a little more efficient. Now we're going to put the ribbon on them. So turn your envelope over, grab the long ribbon, set it down first. Put your envelope centered over that. And you're going to take your tape runner and you're going to run tape along the bottom here, and then you're going to pull the top down first and then the bottom up over that. Next we are going to do the trickier ribbon. So grab your Scotch tape and have it handy. Actually grab a piece of it first, I think. Have a piece on your finger, and what you're going to do with the short ribbon is find visually the center and fold it like this, and then push that over to the side just a little bit. What you want to have is an empty triangle here in the middle so that your tape overlays the sides of the ribbon and that empty triangle in the center there. Just like that. Okay, and then we're going to flip it over and put it right so that it covers up that little raw edge there. Okay. And now we are going to apply the wax seal. So on the back of the seal is a little yellow sticker that you will peel off. Sometimes it wants to take up some of that adhesive, just try to separate it as you take that off. Place it right in the middle there. And then you want to make sure that your ribbon is in the center. And then if you want to move it down, you can kind of pinch that and scooch it down. I think it looks best when it's not right in the center, but it's just like down a little bit. So we've got that there. Next, we're going to put the address label on. So flip the envelope over. Again, make sure you're centered. This is a crack and peel backing. Some of them just peel off, depends on how they're cut. And then you're going to center it. I like to look at the diamonds to make sure that it's absolutely centered. Press that down, and there is your envelope. Okay, now here's my extra fancy tip. If you want to use this envelope as the inner envelope, having the wax and the ribbon protected by being on the inside, you can order this red envelope as the inner, and then you can have an outer envelope, which is slightly larger, in which case it would slide in just like this, and we can address the outside in however way you want to. So that just adds an extra level of protection and fanciness if you want to. Totally optional. But if you do want to use the ribbon on the outside with the wax to save a little money and use that all on the outside, it does mail fine. The address label here helps to keep that ribbon in place, and the strong bond adhesive will keep those on as they mail. When you are done with assembly, we have 2 very important tips for mailing. This part is so important that we will outline it again for you in your shipment notification email. So, number 1, do not toss your invitations into the outside mailbox at your home or at the post office. You need to bring them inside the post office and have them hand canceled. It's free, and it helps them to be sorted more carefully than their sorting machines will, because the sorting machines don't really like this action with the ribbon and the wax. Number 2, double, triple check your postage stamp value on the invites before mailing. We have already double, triple checked this for you, but we have discovered that the opinions of postal clerks may vary and are not always consistent with the U.S. Postal Service guidelines. When in doubt, or if they give you trouble, visit another post office for a second opinion. It's fairly rare, but we have had people bring this to our attention, so just know that you have some options there. And you're done! Thanks for watching. You can make this design your own or see more of our other unique stationery at papertruly.com.